classroom until you get the fuck out or something like that. I mean, unfortunately, I did plenty of friends, and I didn't take it in high school. But I had plenty of friends who, music teachers don't fuck around. So I mean, watch the movie. What movie am I thinking about? Whiplash. That's a. They weren't that bad, but that's a good example. I think in many ways that's how it should be. I mean, Whiplash was a music teacher who loved jazz, and he had a school because he wanted a big jazz orchestra, and anyone who was off, who didn't take it seriously, he would humiliate you and kick you out because he had a reputation. And honestly, that's kind of how the music industry is. Well, probably isn't like now because you're seeing what we're getting away with or what they're getting away with. But I just think if it doesn't doesn't fit, doesn't work, doesn't sound good. That's just as a music fan. That's how I look at it.
I personally have my opinion
Yeah.
on new school hip hop, and I can't
There's
deal.
there's definitely there's some new school hip hop that I like, that most of my friends who are like hip hop heads or who are like old school that we have disagreements with, but I don't know. It just depends. I'm just not one of those people that have my mind made up. I have to hear it.
Yeah.
And,
Well, that's good, man. At least you're giving young cats a chance.
Yeah, it's just
All right. My next question is, who would win in a superhero battle? Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And they both got the healing factor.
Honestly, I'd give it to Wolverine.
You think Wolverine would take it?
He's too pissed off to lose the battle, in my opinion. And I don't know. I actually, honestly, and Deadpool would just piss him off more.
Yeah.
So with the shit he would say. So I don't know, unless Deadpool just outsmarts him. That's the only thing I could. But I mean, no, I honestly think Wolverine fuck him up. So
I can dig that. I can take that. All
I hate
right.
to say it 'cause I like them both.
So yeah, I love that you those were both on your top 5 lists.
Yeah.
So that question worked out well. All right. If you could have one superpower to change the world, what would it be, and would you use it?
One superpower to change the world.
I went into depth thinking about that
Yeah.
question. So
Oh wow. I'm pretty sure there's many I would do. There would be some. I'm not exactly sure what the superpower would be called, but what I would want it to do is I would definitely fill people with more confidence and definitely more brain power.
I can do that.
Because, and I know most people would say, oh, money or world peace, but really, I mean, money is useless if you have people that are stupid with money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, it's brain power. So even if money falls out of the sky, someone who's stupid with money, poor is going to be stupid with all of it. So it's just like, to me, brain power. I think people would come up with more progressive ideas,
I can do
and
that.
so I think you wouldn't have as many depressed people who work 9 to 5s, who are stuck in a rut, don't know how they're gonna, standard things that a lot of families and a lot of middle class people are struggling with. They're too stuck on the idea that handouts or that money or that millions or billions of dollars will change that. I always believe that a legacy is more important than the wealth. So I think people have had more brain power, more confidence, more ideas. I think people can build more things that we as a society can enjoy and become more happy with. And with ideas, I mean, can come that as well. But I think if you have the right brain power, you'll use it in a smart way.
I can do that.
And so you won't be, because you can go. I mean, you can be a millionaire tomorrow and the next week before, if you don't invest and save and budget correctly. So to me, I think brain power is more important than just wealth for everybody. So, and then not to mention, then there's the whole world peace thing. I think with brain power, I think people would become you know, that they're just not going to give in to what their governments and their religions and so forth and so-called leaders try to lead them to. I think they'll reject ideas that we know is destroying, humanity, so to speak. So I think with brain power, a little bit more intelligence, and just, I mean, I just see that as something that could change the world in a way better fashion.
I'm really, really liking that answer, man.
Yeah, that's just my thought. I think because you look at it, we talk about like governments creating jobs and stuff like that, but isn't it something we can do ourselves? We say we can't because we lack the finances. But I feel like brain power, you can find a way to turn a penny into $100 bill.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think it starts with us, and so yeah, if I had the superpower, that's what I do.
I can dig that you aced that question. Thank you for serving that question justice, man. All right, so my next question for you, man. So watching a lot of your music videos, I peeped your shirt game, and a lot of your shirts got horror characters on
Yeah.
it, man. I saw your Creep Show. I love some Creep Show. I see
Mm-hmm.
you're rocking It today. Show
Yeah.
the fans.
Anyways,
He's rocking that
dance
It.
clown.
So, man, do you have a fascination with horror? Are you a horror
Oh
fan?
yeah, huge. Oh,
I even noticed some short film horror short film influence within your music videos. I feel they could be kind of like
Yeah.
short films. I love
to name a few, Antisocial and My Demons were definitely the short
that.
film.
Okay.
And shout out to Kyle Oliver, who's a filmmaker. He's from Mill Creek, Oklahoma. He directed both of those videos, and he does a lot of short film, mostly psychological and like grindhouse kind of style, which I love a lot. So that's where me and him kind of met in the middle, and so that's. But I definitely want to do more of that. I definitely like doing the short film. I'm big into indie films, but horrors is something I've always been into. I think as I got older, I got more and more into it, and I actually got my mom is a big Alfred Hitchcock fan. So as a young kid, my mom would show me the classics like Psycho, The Birds. I think then of course the movies that came from Stephen King novels like Misery. I was like, my mom was like, you gotta watch the Misery. So
Could we possibly be getting some Had Enough short films in the future?
I actually talked about that before. I was wanting to do really is just it's just finding the time, because really the budget. Well, I actually had one script that I wrote. It would be like a 30-minute film. I wrote this.
So you wrote scripts and everything. This isn't.
Yeah, there was a year ago I had an idea,
That's awesome.
and it was circled around, infidelity and then revenge, because I love revenge movies.
Okay.
So of any genre, but horror and thrillers do revenge movies the best, especially the foreign films. I know like French and Italian, they do great revenge films.
See, I've
same
never
thing
seen
with
an Italian horror film yet.
yeah. I would say Italian and Europe, they probably make the most savage horror films you'll find.
Really?
And then Korean horror films are just out of this world. So yeah, and you have to really search for those. Just ignore when Hollywood tries to remake them, if you can. But no, I definitely I've definitely had a couple horror film ideas. I had one idea for a film that was circled around a pimp who had hookers who were his assassins, and so someone owed him money, and so the whole film was really circled around the assassin hookers, and there were, to me, and I was kind of influenced by Kill Bill, and then some of the Japanese films and that inspired Kill Bill, that I know Tarantino, because that's the thing about Tarantino being one of my favorite filmmakers, because I can watch a film, I know exactly who, because he's very big on paying homage. People don't realize what all influences he had in Pulp Fiction. Deliverance was one of them. But there's also a lot of old grindhouse films, and if you've seen them, you'll see little similarities.
Okay, I'm a huge Pulp Fiction fan, so
Yeah.
I have to get a list from you.
But every film Tarantino has made, it it came from other ideas like Reservoir Dogs. If you see a movie called City on Fire, it's Chow Yun Fat.
Okay.
It actually might kill Reservoir Dogs because it kind of looks like he kind of just ripped the story.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, he really just kind of took a similar plot and then threw his own thing in there. But it's kind of cool to watch it because I think it's more of him paying homage to it. I firmly believe that's why he put the money into Eli Roth to put out Hostel, because Hostel is, in my opinion. I mean, I can't really speak for Eli Roth personally, but when I saw Hostel, it reminded me of. I'm trying to think of what country the films were. I would say probably like the films from Germany and other like the torture porn films that were coming out. There's a film called Mardar. That's probably one of the most gruesome movies you'll ever see. Serbian film was definitely one of them, but I think he saw Hostel and saw what Eli Roth was trying to do, and so I think put his money behind that to really give it good distribution. And Eli Roth's a huge Italian horror film fan. In fact, that's what Green Inferno. It was basically he was inspired by Cannibal Holocaust, which is one of the most well-known Italian films, and to me, I think that was the film that Blair Witch Project was trying to do. They just didn't have the violence, but
okay.
Cannibal Holocaust was so controversial, got banned in several countries that and then the director wanted, and it was well, actually I think it was the original found footage film and one of the best made. I mean, definitely. I mean, the found footage films you see coming out can't even compare, and it was all special effects. I mean, you've got like, the castration scene, which looks extremely real, and then them disemboweling a turtle so they had something to eat, but they had like real animal killing in it, and so they had PETA all over that, and
wow.
So he told his actors, the director told his actors to disappear for a year because it's like, I want to put the film out, I want to kind of have a little bit of realism, so disappear. I'm not sure he probably paid him enough to live for the rest of the year, but he said, don't do any interviews, needs you to stay out of the public's eye. And then the film came out, and next thing you know, director's in court because they thought it was a snuff film. So he called his actors like, get your ass to court now. He's like, forget what I said, I need you there. And then he brought all his props, like here's the fake dick we cut off, and the animals. But he has to say, I know we actually did kill the animals. Like there's a scene of a pig getting shot in the head, which was real. But part of
that's intense.
That's something a lot of Italian horror films do. There's several cannibal movies in Italy, and it contains animals getting slaughtered. And my view on that, not that I'm an animal lover, so I don't agree with it, but when you see that, knowing it's real, and then you see humans getting slaughtered, which is all makeup effects, it makes the human slaughter look more real because it's all kind of happening in one scene or together. But I think that's kind of what they were going for, to make their murder scenes look more real, because I mean, this is in the 80s, they didn't have CGI, which I like that better than CGI. But yeah, man, I'm such a buff and a nerd with these films, so when I see new ones, I kind of know where their influence comes from, so I tend to enjoy them a little bit more because I know where it comes from. But I know I went off topic, but yeah.
Hey, that's fine, man.
I definitely
what you're saying. So
I definitely want to do mini horror films. Actually, filmmaking was a passion I had before I got into music.
Really?
And so, but now I kind of and some of my songs are actually influenced by films or movies I'll watch, and then I'll have an idea because even then, like, I get the like my label mates, I'm known as the crazy one in the whole group, my whole crew. So, and then people make jokes about my songs being about killing and stabbing, and really, I do not have one song that I actually talk about that. My Demons is the closest one, but really that's more of a rap battle style. It's just because the only part of it where I actually even talk about murder or whatever, I use the term "Dead Bodies Everywhere," which was a homage to Korn and their song. And so,
nice.
So the song is really about me being me, and just in a certain way. I just have a very unique way of putting it together. But and then Basket Case is the probably even more. Basket Case is actually about Ted Bundy. It's about if Ted Bundy was a rapper, because half of it is someone talking about being competitive and stuff like that. I just kind of took it to that extreme. The only other one is Stepson of Sam, which is a bonus track on Nihilist, and that is just me That's just me talking about being obsessed with fucked up films and horror films, and it's really an over exaggeration. It's me basically saying that that I'm being desensitized to the violence. But I mainly made that song because when I put out the cover art for Nihilist, I had people saying they didn't want to support me anymore because they said the cover looked too satanic. So I came up with Stepson of Sam, and I just finished the album, and then my manager told me, hey, you should put in a couple bonus tracks. Don't tell, like, they can only get it on the CD because we weren't really able to do it for iTunes. So that's why I did that one, where I claim to be the Stepson of Sam, and the chorus is me just saying, not being wanted, being an outcast, and so to speak. Because when people say it's like the redheaded stepchild.
Okay.
So it's a take on the Son of Sam, David Berkowitz, but just with kind of. So I did that one, and that was just me just saying whatever fucked up shit I could. And then the other bonus track is called Schizophrenia, and that's me claiming I'm at some Illuminati, like satanic occult Illuminati party, and there's girls doing fucked up shit, and I'm all paranoid. The whole song's about me being paranoid. So those were two songs I did, and it was just kind of me taking a stab back at people who didn't really see the artistic value in the cover art, and just because it was a goat's head, they automatically tied it in with Satanism and said that was the agenda I was pushing. So in a way, I think my reaction to it was very similar to kind of how Eminem and Marilyn Manson do it, because of all the shit they've been accused of. And then, of course, as Eminem says, I am what you say I am. So I kind of did that thing a little bit. It was just trolling to me. It was just me drilling it for fun and saying, okay, well, you guys think I'm a Satanist now, so I'll make this song and then think what you want. Yeah. So, and then even with that, like I have song, there's parts that says kill, bloods, and all that kind of stuff, and that's just me just being just exaggerating and going over the top for the fun of it, and then people think what they want. So
basically, man.
Yeah,
I can dig the hell out of that, man. All right, one last question before my last question.
Okay.
So, what mark do you want to leave on hip hop, man? When it's all said and done, what's something that you what is the name Had Enough gonna represent? What is it gonna mean to hip hop?
Well, to tell you the truth, I never really got a whole lot of love in the hip hop game till probably about recently. I get a lot more love in like the metal scene and the punk scene and stuff like that. I think somebody once told me that they said you're rap music for the metalheads.
I can dig that.
And most of my fans are that. Like, there are definitely some hip hop heads and some other MCs who appreciate the lyricism and the art form I put in. But when you look at hip hop, I mean, I'm definitely like the outcast of it, and I like it that way.
I feel like that's the way to be, man.
That was someone else told me I was the Marilyn Manson of hip hop. I think someone else told me that. So, but as far as leaving an imprint on it, what I would like is just, take away all barriers, Like I said before, where people don't automatically say, well, if you didn't sample, if it's not like, not a 70s soulful sample over, if it's not a DJ Premier beat, if it's not, and I love DJ Premier and I love, I love all the old school producers, and I love Dre's production and everything, but I disagree with the idea that it has to sound like that for it to be hip hop. I do believe we have to evolve. I think the reason why they don't want it to evolve is because you see what's kind of evolved too.
Yes.
And so that I understand, but for me, it's just like I just believe that. As long as you're making good music, as long as you're making songs and that are properly well done, and you're entertaining. Because to me, I think an MC is someone is supposed to be the master of ceremonies. He controls the crowd. You'd be amazed how many people don't think Tech Nine's a real MC, and I'm sitting here like, have you seen him perform live? Have you heard him rap before? So whether you agree of his style of beats or what he's doing, he's very much an MC, and he has one of the best live shows I've seen. Same thing with Tyler the Creator. You know, a lot of people say he's not hip hop or whatever, but I've seen him live, and his live show is exciting, entertaining, and it's funny. It's funny because he says a lot of shit. So and so to me, it's like I believe in having many subgenres, everyone being their own thing, not trying to because then there's some people who grew up on hip hop and they want to be accepted in that game to a point where I think they'll pretend to be someone else to appeal to what they think is that genre, and I think you're not really being real. You know, I think maybe that's one of the biggest issues is that acceptance, and I gave up on that a long time ago.
So you're over here in your own little corner being.
I think so. I think that's what everyone should do. I think you'll find a lot more happiness when you kind of have your own lane, and when people like what your lane is, they're going to come forward.
I like
that's kind of how it worked out for me, and I've got to see many other artists who went through the same thing, and that's what they did, and you end up gaining like loyal core fans, and when you look through history, I mean that's kind of how it panned out for like Slipknot. That's how it panned out for Marilyn Manson. That's how it panned out for Eminem, and so forth. Even go back to like Rakim and Cool G Rap. Like they all have like dedicated core fans. Same thing with Tech Nine and Deanna Wood. Definitely Tyler the Creator and his crew. And Hobson, and all these different areas. So a lot of them had like their own lane because there was no lane they fit in with. So so I guess back to the original question, as far as leaving an imprint, just definitely just someone who did his own unique style, and just had fun with it. Because a lot of times I just try to entertain. I think a lot of rappers take themselves too seriously. They forget to entertain. Or their mindset of entertaining is too much of what everyone else is doing.
Right.
Because they want to sell. And to me, I'm just like, you have to sell yourself before you can sell your music. So
definitely.
More people will tie into you if they like your personality. So, but yeah, man, that's kind of how I look at it and what kind of imprint I would like to leave. But honestly, 4 years ago, I had a different answer to something like that. So music's helped me grow as a person. And I think the more darker and negative and angry my music is, the lot more optimistic I am as a person. I've noticed that as well. So
that's good.
So I think it's because you get all that off your back.
Yeah.
It's your music, and so you appreciate life on a personal level a lot more. But I mean, I guess it depends on where I go, or what I evolve to, and what kind of imprint. Because a lot of the influence that you may the influence that you may convey and the impact you might have might be unintentional.
Yeah.
So
I feel like one thing's for sure, you're going to leave your own unique imprint on hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. All right. So my last question is, what was the best part of your day? We ask everybody as they come in. What was your favorite part of the day?
Of today?
Yeah. Today,
hard to say. I had a pretty busy day. It's funny because my day was a combination of adulting and then just doing the work involved with music. I mean, I got up, went to get an oil change on my fucking vehicle, bought this shirt,
right on,
got my car, went to a photo shoot, had a time somewhere in between there, had breakfast, had lunch, and then had dinner, came here to do this interview. So it's kind of hard for me to stop and think what was my favorite part of the day.
So, but you just had a good day.
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely a fulfilling day, and that's basically my life. Like I work a day job, I get off, and then if I have a show coming up, I go put flyers and posters out and do all kinds of, I'll go home, write, or so
definitely
all kinds. Especially when the record coming out, I'm constantly trying to keep busy as far as doing interviews, doing promotions, So
right on.
It's a tedious job.
I can dig it, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, plug your new tape coming out.
Yeah.
Plug your show, plug anything, your social media, all that good stuff.
It's the Facebook.com. It's Had Enough 918. Twitter's Had Enough 65. Instagram has had enough 918 as well. YouTube has had enough 91. And those are the social medias. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. My music's actually available on Xbox as well.
Awesome.
iHeartRadio. The new record you'll be able to find on Pandora. So follow me on Spotify because I think that's what people use now. So new show. It's Friday, October 13th. Friday the 13th. Album release show for Nihilist. It's a punk and metal and hip hop lineup. Pawn Shop Heroes, Enslaved by Fear, Screaming Red Mutiny, and then my guy Ash Free. I'll be headlining. I perform with a bassist and a DJ. We just invested in some lights. We're looking into smoke machines and strobes and all that, so we're definitely upgrading our live performance.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, man, have that. Tickets are only $5 in advance. You can go to moogamusic.net. Order those. VIP's $20, which is basically all access. If you get the VIP, you get to go. You get access to the back room, which it's in the open. We just have they'll just be like we have red carpet style ropes that'll kind of block the area off. So if you have a VIP ticket, get back there. There's gonna be free catered food. There's a pool table. You'll get a gift bag. You get the album for free, autographed. You'll get a Mooga Music magnet. Get to hang out with us, and so. And so that's and if you don't do pre-sales, it's 10 out the door. That's about it, man. We're pretty excited, man. We've been promoting it for a while, trying to get the word out. So that's what's going on after that. Doing a Halloween show on October 28th at White Crow called Ghouls Night Out. And then we'll have a couple shows up till the end of the year.
Sweet,
So,
definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we really appreciate you coming here and hanging out with us. For you guys, this has been Let's Do an Interview, episode number 5, I think. This is Mr. Had Enough. You guys can check us out at Geek World Network on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and SoundCloud. And be sure to go follow our Facebook page at Comicaster. Thank you guys very much. And stay classy, Comicaster kiddos. Yeah.
Coming up straight up, getting faster. Taking over, start getting strokes away, manner. Or spin asshole with manners. Fuck your bitch on.